Okay, right, we're ready to go. Everything's up and running. We're good. Okay, so we're going to be working on another mini today, working a little bit on the JSA model here. There was some JSA models that I'd painted before on the stream. I finally put them on their bases now. So we've just painted up the bases in the last stream, as I was also working on my competition piece. Just stuck them on there. So now they're all going. We've got lots of other JSA models to be getting on with. So for the time being, I'm going to be painting up this fella here. This guy's basically an engineer. I'm going to mark out, we've done already a bit of the painting on him. That is baggy kind of ninja pants, or workman pants. In Japan they often use them for doing work. I'm looking for my brown, it's up there. So we're going to be going over and we're just going to be marking out all of the different gold areas that we're going to do for NMM. And yeah, that's how we're going to begin for the time being. Just so I know exactly where I'm going to be placing all of this NMM. So let's get it started. Hopefully we got a good position there to be able to see. So yeah. So I don't need to thin too much or anything like that. We're just going to be placing this on everywhere that's going to have the gold. So this little wrist computer here will have it. Now I've got to decide whether or not I put it onto the shoulder pad. I think we do, just to kind of break him up a little bit. Thank you very much, Ralph. Good to see you. I'm doing very well. Thank you very much. And how have you been? You been good this week? I was able to get some touch-ups done on my competition piece, so I'm pretty happy where she is. Right now, she's pretty much done. I just tidied up some of the areas that were a bit messy, and so yeah, she's more or less finished. I may still try and go in and just smooth up some areas perhaps, but I'm pretty happy with where she's at, and we'll see how she does when I enter it into the competition. So I think by the end of this month, that's the time to finish up. All right, nice. I think I've heard Essen is kind of very. Isn't that like a bit of your kind of the place where a lot of kind of the board games come out of Germany? I have a feeling I've heard a few companies or something that do a lot of the popular board games come from Essen. I may be incorrect on that, I'm not sure. But the Vallejo Express colors, is that basically Vallejo's version of contrast paints? I heard that they might be making some or something like that, but I hadn't really been following it. I don't use contrast paints at all. I haven't jumped onto that train yet. But yeah. What colors did you pick up for the Express, Vallejo Express? So I wonder if that one's, I'm going to do the gold, and then this side I might do another color, but for the time being I'll just mark it in with the gold, because I feel like it's a cloth that's covering the actual bit that's going to be NMM here. So I'm probably going to repaint that another color. Let's figure that one out. All right, there you go. Yeah. I knew SM was famous for something in terms of like board games or something. Blue, red, yellow, and green. It's a good selection to start with and to see if they are any good. I'm sure with Vallejo that they've kind of figured out a good recipe for their contrasts. I've heard of some ways of making your own contrast paint using inks and matte mediums and things. And as I've got those things, I might actually have a go at making them myself, seeing if that turns out okay. But I don't know. I'm not familiar with using them at all. So, but yeah. When you get to have a go at using them, let me know what they're like, because I'm sure then they'll start being supplied here in our supplier in Japan. So yeah, that'll be cool. There we go. Trying to figure out where I exactly want to put those browns. Nice, that'll be a good idea. I haven't touched that Megalodon at all. Yeah, that would be kind of cool to have a look at. Man, that Megalodon is kind of just sitting up there waiting, just waiting. I got the Charantid to do next. Actually, I'm gonna have to start painting him soon for the next video. I'm thinking of kind of using the inks that I've got and seeing if I can play around with inks and try and get a nice contrast. I think that'd be kind of fun if I can get something good on that using the inks. But in some ways, I kind of want it to keep to my my Shasvasti kind of color scheme, which doesn't work with inks. So I may just have to bite the bullet and paint him as straightforwardly as possible. Have you managed to actually paint up like all of the Defiance stuff? Is the Megalodon the last one? I'm kind of lucky that Tag Raid has been delayed till about, I think, April of next year. I'm so slow at painting everything. I really want to get as much of my Infinity stuff painted before I get Tag Raid. then I can just focus on tag raid. Right, this helmet. What am I going to do with this helmet? I can't have just like a giant gold helmet. That'll be a bit much. Oh, right, yeah, the expansions. The only things on the expansion that I've painted really is Kusanagi for the competition. The rest I haven't touched. I haven't done the alternative versions of the heroes as well. That would be something I would have to have a go at doing as well. With the alternative versions, I can do a completely different color scheme, which would be kind of fun to do. I'm also thinking about perhaps picking up the regular sculpt of Victor Messer, so that I can run his not scary version in the Defiance campaign videos, because otherwise, like, him running around like, I'm one of your friends, and he's got his face open. It's a bit too obvious. So that's something I'm thinking about as maybe a little thing that I pick up for myself. And gets me a few other models that are fairly alright, I guess. Nothing crazy good. Ah, blue and gold. So Andrew, what army of yours is like the blue and gold? What kind of blue as well? Is it like do you do normally dark blue, or do you go with kind of more turquoisey, lighter kind of blue? This particular army is kind of black is the main colors of the army, with blue and gold. So here's an example of a finished model in the army for these guys. And then for anyone with authority, then they get a bit of yellow in there as well. So there's the Kempetai. It's doing crazy stuff to my camera with all that yellow. It's like, oh, I gotta turn it to blue tones. So yeah, but there's that's the Kempetai there. I need to finish off him. He's finish off her. The thing on the base needs a bit of work there. But yeah, that's kind of the color schemes I'm going for with the JSA. Screw it. Let's go a little bit crazy and throw down a bit of the brown up here for the gold color scheme. That would be kind of cool. Indigo blue and metallic blue. Okay, for O12 Hakislam. Ah, interesting. My Hakislam are a little bit more traditional, not exactly the same as the color scheme that Corvus Belli has. My Hakislam is where theirs is kind of goes like more towards the green with the kind of the beige, sandy kind of color as the kind of the secondary. My primary is the sandy color, and then my secondary is more of a purple in there. So I kind of hit the brown, lots of beiges and browns, and then there's a bit of purple in there for my Hakislam. My O12 is like red and turquoise. They're pretty bright. Quite different from the colour scheme that Corvus Belli have. And my Shizvasti are bearded dragons. Basically. Same colour as my pet. Today was one of the last days that I could take my bearded dragon outside whilst the weather was still nice. I think for now we're approaching colder weather. She's got to stay in her cage. Sad Beardy. We are. Okay. I think I've marked in most of the bits that I want to have as kind of a gold. I may just add a little bit onto the gun to make his gun a little bit special. Just kind of these bottom parts here. I really like this brown. Like when you apply it, it automatically kind of with the black, it gets kind of very smooth blends straight on the once you apply it. It kind of has just a nice kind of coverage. Really kind of nothing too much, nothing too little. It goes exactly where I want it to go, and then it just looks right on the model. It's a good color, which is good because it was replacing the GW paint that I had that was running low, which was dryad bark, and so leather brown did the job of replacing it. Burgundy and heather grey with white highlights. Ash grey and pumpkin orange. Ash grey and pumpkin orange. Wow, that would be interesting to see. It's quite a contrast. Interesting. What are they going to be for any particular factions or particular types of models that you're painting? Or is the orange, the grey and orange one, a Halloween themed model? Alright, that will have to do for the time being on the kind of the marking out all of the non-metallic metals. I just do this bit as well. Can't stop adding bits. There we go. All right. I think we kind of marked out a lot of the areas there that we need to. Let's go ahead and actually do the NMM gold. Now, as an engineer, what color should I do that? I'm just going to do it the yellow. So the brown, starting off with the brown is good. We'll build it up to the yellow just to kind of mark him out as special. And that keeps in theme of the army that I have. Pow, done, good. Now, I'm gonna need me some heavy brown. No, I don't need me some heavy brown. I need me some. Where is it? It's not the heavy brown. Oh, there it is. It's the heavy gold brown. Heavy gold brown, that leads up to ivory. There we go. So they're really the only three colors I need to do my NMM gold. Going from brown, heavy gold brown, and ivory. I really got to put away. I have this very bad habit of just kind of like when I use a paint, I just leave it out on my desk without and not put it back in its place on the rack. And it's a very bad habit I have. I really got to put them back more. Like that. So, first of all, we're going to just mix together a little bit of these two browns to give us our first highlight. There we go. And then we're just going to kind of place where we're going to imagine the light is kind of reflecting off of these things. I'm always funny about these curved surfaces and things. Where do I want the light to actually fall? Just going to stroke it towards there, stroke it back towards there, and then just catch a little bit on the side there. We'll just go with that, and then we can always fiddle it back and forth as needed. I think that'll work out well. Ish. Going into slight concentration mode as I just kind of throw down paint where I feel it would be necessary. Not necessarily the right places, but just a, I want to say, educated guess or a practiced guess. Okay. And I'm going to try and hit everything all at once right now and just kind of cover everything. Usually my practice is to just focus on one area at a time and get that right and then move on to the next. But I'm not planning to make this one a super duper fantastic model. I'm just going to try and see if I can kind of speed out a decent quality job on this. One of the things I would like to have a go at doing is I wouldn't mind trying to do the odd commission piece from time to time. So the ability to kind of paint a strong model in a decent time is a skill I need to learn if I wanted to really do that. Yeah. Got a bad mold line there from where the injection into the mold is attached. Didn't sand it down properly. It's my fault. It's kind of an annoying place to have it though, but on the back of the head there. Okay, we'll just do the feet. There we go. That's looking okay. Just a spot more in there, spot more in there. So I've been fairly, what's the word, kind of heavy-handed with the amount of application that I've done at this level. But that's okay, because this is the smallest, the lowest level highlight. We're going to just add more as we go along, and hopefully you'll start to see the kind of the non-metallic metal effect come out. So we're going to go straight with just the pure heavy gold brown. Again, we just add a little bit of moisture in just so that it spreads a little bit and it'll have a little bit of translucency to it as well. Oh, nice. I'm sure there's going to be kind of a lot of review videos coming out soon for the Vallejo ones. Just as there was when Army Painter released theirs. I kind of like how Squidmar uses contrast paints. He does it through an airbrush and just creates like really strong really strong kind of colors and schemes. Seems to work pretty well. this song is very kind of The Last of Us kind of sounding. I think he uses zenithal lighting, but he also uses kind of two tones of contrast paint, like one from below and one from above. But yeah, I think he does do a zenithal. He first primes it in a zenithal base, I do believe. So that, but it's kind of a light zenithal base, I believe. It's not like pure. It's not like black to white. It's more of a grayish to white, so that a lot of the color comes through, if I remember rightly. Which I don't always, because I end up watching a lot of videos and it all merges into one. I know that right now the big new kind of technique is the slap chop method that I've been hearing a lot of people using, where you kind of, I think you use, you kind of go and do all of your highlighting in monochrome first, and then you just basically throw on the contrast paints over the top of that, and it just kind of all just sits nicely. Yeah, it seems to be like an easy method to get like lots done, and so it's not something that's really interesting me, because I'm not painting to get as many miniatures done in a short frame time as possible. I'm trying to learn to be a better painter, and so I'm not doing the things that usually speed up your painting. I'm doing the things that slow down my painting so I can learn. So I avoid using shades, washes. I avoid using washes so that I can learn to layer properly. The next thing might be for me to do stippling and glazing, and try and use that only. So it all depends on what your goals are with painting. If it's to get like your army of Space Marines done, slap chop is definitely a very, very valid method for making like a decent look in a short time. But if you're trying to do like display models or competitions or stuff like that, then slap chop is not the way to go. I'm a bit of a control freak, so I want to control where my brush goes. I get anxiety with kind of the methods where you kind of hope for the best, or you just kind of slap stuff everywhere and hope it works out well. That kind of, me trying that style is like gets me very anxious. Okay, I think we've done the gold brown bit. Next is the mixture of ivory and gold brown. So I'm just going to go straight, mix that straight in there. A touch of water on the end of the brush and just pile that one in. This is hopefully when we start to see the NMM effect coming out. Yeah, it's the way it goes. I love playing. I just don't get much chance to play, so it kind of makes the decision easy for me in that sense. Sure, if I was playing more, I would have probably a lot more motivation to get a lot more models done in a shorter period of time, so I could have something pretty on the table. But at the same time, I think my painting would actually suffer for that need to get it on the table as fast as possible. So having that kind of decision taken away from me because of the situation of not being able to play kind of works out fairly well for me at the moment, although I'm kind of sad that I don't get to play much. But yeah, it's always this hobby is great because it kind of combines so many cool things all together. You get a really cool game to play with the models that you get. You have absolutely cool models to paint and to build and do all of those things, and then there's always like a lot of lore and things that goes with all the games as well to kind of immerse you even more. It's such a cool hobby, the fact that it kind of brings together so many of these kind of creative elements all into one. And I was actually watching Travarian's breakdown of the Golden Demon winners this year, and yeah, it was kind of interesting just to see how people at some of the top levels paint and how those looked. There was one which was really fantastic of a giant fighting a giant fighting like a sea hydra thing, and it was just so cool. The fact that the giant was ripped off one of the heads of the hydra, and the hydra was the other head, one of the necks was in the giant's hands as well, and it was all wrapping around his body, and his foot was in like the water, and the water was like ocean waves and things. It looked absolutely insane. I heard it took, like, the painting of it took 360 hours just for the painting. No, yeah, it's difficult. No, you go ahead and paint, and I'll do my best to just talk if you are watching and lurking in the background, so I'm not too quiet. So yeah, good luck with the Megalodon. Get that guy painted. Yeah. There are some insanely good painters out there. It's unbelievable. I like this part of the NMM where it all starts to come together a bit. Yeah, we kind of place this mix of the... It's kind of like, oh, what is going on upstairs? They are making all sorts of noises. It's either that or it's my daughter, because she's now got a new room and it's next to this room. So she might be just like kicking the wall and it sounds like it's coming from upstairs, but it's her just making a noise against the wall. And I'm just blaming the neighbours unfairly. I can kind of hear them a little bit through the wall. Okay, let's hit it now with a little bit of ivory and see if we can finish off that effect. But I'm pretty happy with how he's looking at the moment. It's kind of cool, and I don't think the helmet is too much. It's a little bit strong. But now this is the bit where I've got to be the most subtle, because we're close to white now with the ivory, and this is just right to give it that element of a shine. Don't want to do too much. I'm going to stipple this one. And hopefully that looks okay. Be good. I've kind of picked out a couple of the models that I think I'm going to paint for my kind of eBay project, where I paint up some models, paint up a couple of models of a similar style, try to paint them up of an equal quality, and then putting them on eBay just to see how much they sell for and see who sells for the most. There we go. Okay, this ivory is working out okay. Just gotta be careful with how much we put on. There we go, just those touches. Small touches are hopefully what sells the NMM look. There we go. There we go. You probably noticed I like to say there we go. I think my last bit there then is just on those chest plates, and I missed. There we go. Oh, I haven't done it on the inside of the gun. There we go. Okay, I think that gives us the NMM gold, and it's looking all right. So now we can kind of do the rest of the black armor there. Try and get all of that up to scratch. Then we can do the detail work, and I think we'll be on a roll with that. Now I might try to add just a touch of blue into the anything that's kind of that, like just NMM, regular NMM metal kind of thing, just to kind of give it a separation from the armor, because that's one of the things that I've noticed in a lot of my JSA, because the armor is black and then their guns are black, they kind of just roll into each other without any kind of separation. So maybe if I just put in a little teensy bit of turquoise into the blue, into the black, into the guns, it'll kind of give them a little bit more of a different sheen to them, and hopefully separate them from the armor a bit. We'll give it a go on this model, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but if it works, yay! So I'm gonna need, now we've already got the black is kind of done, so let's just go in with the dark blue gray. We can always add some black later if we need to. Dark blue gray and cold gray, and that's gonna help us. Then we go in. Now, do I use a bit of ice yellow for the highlight? We'll try a little bit of ice yellow just to give it a little bit of color. Let's try that first, and then we can always go up to the white using the ivory, perhaps. Okay, so next bit that we're going to do. So on the back here, he's got some of the armor that needs a bit of work. There's actually a little bit of metal that's kind of shining through from the where I didn't undercoat it very well, so I'm gonna need some black. There we go. Thank you very much, Linda. Yeah, I like the pants are kind of cool. They really kind of I think I got that one working a lot better than I used to. Again, I used to use the white, going up to white for the highlight, but then I switched it out for the ice yellow, and the ice yellow just seems to make it pop just a little bit more, kind of gives it a little bit more of a oomph in the power of the color there, in the light blue. It's good. So let's get a little bit of this black. We're just going to go and tidy up some spots here. There we go. Now that we've actually done the NMM gold, we can actually do a lot of these straps as brown now. But let's get all this black done first. Some of the backpack as well here. I think they're looking good. Right, I gotta get some of the legs as well. Yep. There we go. All right, now I'm going to mix in a little bit of the dark blue grey with the lighter grey, the cold grey that we got. Maybe just a touch more cold grey. And I'm going to get some water, just a touch of water there, just to thin that down a little bit. Make it spread a little bit nicely. Just kind of catch some little bits here and there. There we go. Again, just not putting too much on. That's the key here. I'm always going to be tempted to do too much. That's what we've got to try to avoid. Right, we'll get a lit. Oh no, not the ice yellow yet. We need to do just the cold grey first. So I'm going to get a little bit there. This is where it gets about as light as it should get, to be honest. Just do this slight swishy. Just to find some of those points. You know what, I don't think I actually need the yellow in there. I think that's as light as I need to go with those parts. What we can do is try to do the gun. Now the gun, yeah, let's give the gun a go, but let's bring in the turquoise and see if that helps us. So I need a little bit of turquoise. I'm just going to mark in the areas with the dark blue grey first. And yeah, this will just kind of highlight it first for us. A bit more in there. And then we've kind of set the areas of that. Again, we'll go a little bit lighter and let's just kind of do the same as we've done previously so far. But the next bit I'm going to do is going to add a slight blue into it. More, just do the top areas here. Right, let's just give it a go. We're going to mix in just a touch there. I'm just going to slightly build some of this in, get it a bit watery. Just have a touch of this turquoise in the gun. I'm going to go over with another highlight where we kind of perhaps actually kind of reduce some of this, because I think I'm being a bit too heavy-handed with this. But it gives a bit of a different colour on there. Yeah, it's the new JSA support pack. Is it new or did they update it? I can't remember. But anyway, it's the latest one. It is the most up-to-date JSA support pack. Good to see you, Yesef. Welcome. Oh, hello, Onikage. Thank you very much. Oh, nice. Yeah, nomads are cool. I've just actually painted my first and only nomad, because I don't connect nomads, but I did one particular nomad for I've done this one for a competition, so they'll be entering it soon, and that is Kusanagi, which is this one here, And so that's my only nomad I've got. All right. Now, yeah, this particular one is the JSA one. I think they updated it since they had them in the Yu Qing, when they were the Yu Qing sectorial. So yeah, and so I've got the paramedic lady as well to do. She's just over here at the moment. But they did, I mean, I think they were new sculpts, but they kept the old style little dude, peripheral dude. Yeah. These are, but I think these are the latest ones. The only one when maybe it was just a repack they did when they released them again. I don't know. But anyway, I think these ones are. The lady's got a hat still, but I do think they're fairly new, because the sculpts are pretty nice and the size of them is fairly similar to other models as well. Very cool, very cool. Yeah. It's good to throw in your own ideas for nomads and things like that. Hello, Princess Emmy Bear, welcome. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. Where was I with this dude? Oh yeah, I was doing the weapon up here. So we're gonna go with just some pure cold grey next. Just gonna build that one in. This will cover up some of the turquoise we've got in there, so it won't be so strong, but hopefully it will make the gun look a little bit different from the armor. That's kind of what I'm going for. That's why I kind of built in a little bit of turquoise into the paint scheme of the gun. First time I'm trying this. I'm probably gonna have to keep experimenting with it to get it right, but just for a kind of a test model, this is a great one to do. But yeah, the cold grey is kind of covering up a few of those highlights that I've done with the turquoise, but the turquoise is still in there, so it does separate it a little bit from the rest of the armor. A bit more. There we go. I'm going to get a little bit of ivory as well then, with maybe just a touch of the cold grey. We'll use that as the final highlight. Again, just small touches. Try and sell the shine. I'm going to have to practice my tongue twisters to get my pronunciation right again. She sells seashells by the seashore. The shells she sells are surely seashells. Blah, blah, blah. There we go. Yeah. I'm kind of liking where this gun is going, and I'm going to ruin it now by overdoing it. Yeah. Okay, the gun there now is just a little bit different from the rest of the armor. Just there's a touch of turquoise in there. It's kind of hard to see it, but it does feel a little cooler than the armor does. So that's kind of like that was the main aim of that. I'm gonna have to keep playing with that idea a bit more as I do more models, but I think that works pretty well. Okay, so we've kind of mapped out most of the main bits of this model now. Now we're going to be doing all the detailing work. So first of all, there's this kind of sheet that's over his armor here. We're going to be doing that yellow. So I'm going to be using a bit of Uriel yellow on this one. Hopefully that's going to have enough coverage. Oh, I can use the the gold brown as well as the in-between to help me with that. Ugh. This stuff is getting old. I've also got the lemon yellow, which I did use a little bit in the Kempe tie. It was a bit of a difficult one to use, and the coverage is pretty poor, but it's kind of an interesting colour to throw in there. Okay, so let's get a bit of U. Just go over the whole thing. Should have done this one pink first. Pink helps yellow really stand out. I kind of skipped that step. Okay, I'm going to let that just dry for a moment, and then we'll kind of build up that yellow to really kind of be a bit brighter than all of the NMM gold that we've got on there. Hopefully that will give the separation. For the time being, I'm going to get a bit of my brown, and we're going to start just getting in all these belts and buckles and things. Just kind of make them stand out as a different color from all the black. Some bits there as well that we can do NMM gold as well, so that's not a problem. Starting off brown is good. I guess I can see how the face could be a towel. Did you see the towel sculpt that was in the open category for Golden Demon? That was a really nice sculpt and paint job. Absolutely beautiful towel bust. Really worth checking out if you go and see the Golden Demon winners. Go and see the open category and see that towel bust. It was really nice. Done in a very kind of like Star Wars-esque kind of style. It was very cool. Oh, you saw it, Princess Emmy Bear. Good. There we go. Okay. He's coming along okay. Like this is good progress for me. I don't normally get this much done on a single model in a single night. I mean, I've been going on for maybe just over an hour, and I've actually been able to paint most of the model, which is pretty awesome for me. I did already have the pants done, and some of the black armor. We knocked out the NMM gold pretty fast for my speeds anyway. I'm pretty pleased with the end result of that. Alright, there's some more straps and things just kind of about. Again, not all of it has to be brown, but if we mark it all out now, it's easy to spot and we can play around with some other colors as we go. Yeah. I have started experimenting a little bit with making a video, maybe a video series, kind of making fun a bit of like Infinity game logic and kind of pulling that apart a little bit with kind of characters of models in the game discussing what they're going to do and how the logic works within their kind of universe, and kind of having a back and forth on it, kind of inspired by a bit of like Viva la Dirt League kind of skits and pitch meeting skits as well. I doubt I can make them as funny, but I can do something silly. And basically I'm superimposing my face onto models, and I've been playing around with doing that. It's just kind of fun to do. A really just kind of stupid kind of thing. A bit kind of like the Annoying Orange type of style of videos. I don't know if I'm going to be very pleased with how they turn out, if they're going to be funny or not. But I'll see how I see how I feel when I edit one together, or I try putting one together. I doubt it's going to be that great. Alright, we've got that down. Let's go and do that yellow. So now we're going to go up to the next level of yellow. There we go. So yeah, the yellow's kind of popping a little bit more, separating from the rest of the yellows in the armor, as it were. It's going on a little bit thick. It's a bit chalky, to be honest. I'm gonna have to give it some depth as well, so we might have to bring back a little bit of the brown. First, I'm going to get a little bit of you. Just going to kind of pull you down there. Pull you down there. Let's get a teensy bit of brown, mix that one into there. Hopefully that can give us a little bit of depth that we're looking for. I don't like it. I don't know. It doesn't look quite right to me. It looks a little bit off. A little bit off. kind of play it back and forth a little bit. Get some of the Uriel yellow and work that one up as well. It's all right. Not great, but not bad. I think we'll be okay. Okay, so now we're gonna kind of work these kind of leather areas here. Now, I've been having a little trouble with the leather in trying to get it, I don't know, look good. It's been troublesome. What happens if I mix in a little bit of ice yellow? Yeah, I don't know, that's not quite perhaps the highlight I'm looking for. Maybe I could do that on the satchel. We'll just try going a little touch lighter just to give it some, perhaps some depth. Don't really like that colour. I'm not going to do that for the rest of the belts and things. I want the belts to be a bit punchier, I think. But just to maybe give the satchel a different kind of texture, that kind of works. So maybe we build in more of an orange into the leather, and that might look a bit better. Give it a go. Might give it some warmth. Okay, yeah, that might work. Maybe we can give a small highlight of orange on the areas that are going to catch the most light, perhaps. But yeah, I think it's okay. I'm never going to be convinced that anything is ever right with my painting. I'm going to be a little bit critical of everything I've done and question every decision I make. That's just the way that goes. Still be proud of the work, just very critical of where I could perhaps have done things better. There we go. Okay. I think we're doing okay. We're doing okay. All right. Yeah, I think that's okay. So now, yeah, we've got a variation of color in there. I think it's popping all right. I'll be pretty happy with him on the table. I've still got to do this piping that's going around his neck here. Now, do I use... Maybe I kind of make this a bit similar to the gun, where there's a little bit of turquoise built in as well. So that even though it's the same kind of colors, same grays as the rest of his suit is, what we can do is we can build in some of this turquoise gray. There we go. And see if that just makes it kind of stand out a little bit. Alright, let's see how that works. Whew. Now I'm going to mix in a little bit of the grey there. There's a touch of the turquoise still in there, so that might be good. There we go. We made the turquoise in that a little bit subtle, but it's still there. You can kind of still see it. But we're going to go up a touch higher. And we're going to kind of build this going a little bit higher than the regular armor, so that again it stands out a little bit more. Now we go to that highest point. Okay. I was tempted to try and do it green to make it really be different, but I think just kind of keeping to these basic colors keeps it fairly standard. Okay, that's kind of like a quick tabletop ready paint job on this guy. Just wondering about spotting his eyes with the orange. Works. Now I've got a little computer on his wrist there. I'm wondering what I've done with other models in JSA. I can't remember, so I'm gonna have to just have a look. Thank you very much, Ralph. Yeah, it came out pretty fast, didn't it? It was makes me hopeful for the rest of my JSA that I've got to knock out. I do want to just add in something here. So I might go with the turquoise on this one. Again, just kind of go a bit dark on that first. Actually, probably use the black actually. Then we'll knock it up to the turquoise. Then we'll mix in a touch of ivory. Thank you very much for joining, Ralph. It was lovely. Enjoy your food. And good luck with the Megalodon. I hope it comes out really good. I look forward to trying to catch it on Instagram and seeing how the Vallejo, what are they called? Vallejo speed paint thingamajiggies, contrast paint things that are going to come out. I hope they come out really well. So best of luck to you. I'll catch you next time. Thank you very much, Ralph. Right, let's just bring in another touch of ivory. Just keep on going lighter. Like that. And then let's just try adding a little spot of ivory just in the bottom, like a little reflection. There we go. It's like a little computer that's going off there now. Yay. All right. And yeah, I'm going to call you basically done. So now I'm just going to paint up your base properly. Just use this old brush. I just chew on. Just to kind of hit the base. Make sure we've covered everything there. Luckily for my other JSA, I've kind of painted the bases already and I just stick the models on afterwards. This I didn't do so cleanly. I've kind of improved my technique of basing these models, but it's pretty messy on the edges here. So we just throw that down there. All good. Actually, I might not base it today because I've got to bust out all the reds and things like that. What we could do instead is I could make a start on the lady. Get her painted up. Got to try and make sure I actually cover this model with all the black that it needs. There's lots of bits missing there. It's a poor base coat. I think I'm just going to stick it to a base and we'll just start painting now. I think that's probably going to be the easiest thing to do with her. There we go. Right, well, I think I would like a little bit of a drink first, though. So, cheers to all of you. Ah, nice. All right. So, we're going to be painting up the next model in the same style as this. And she's going to be the doctor. I don't think I ever really run doctors in JSA, but they're kind of their willpower is pretty damn low, and so you're failing a lot, just murdering your own troops, really. But it's kind of nice to have it there as an option. Probably make more use of the engineer once I have my Oyoroi. What is it? Oyoroi Kidobutai? Kidobutai? I think it's the Oyoroi Kidobutai. The tag. I will be getting that along with Tag Raid. So that'll be exciting to get. That's a pretty old sculpt now, to be honest, but it's pretty iconic. I'm sure I'll probably get it and then they'll release a new bloody version. But I'm also going to be getting the Maggie for my Hakislam. Okay, so I'm just gluing her down. I should, to be honest, like pinning would probably be a better option to keep it going for longer without it breaking in the future, but to be honest, the female character's legs and feet are so thin, I'm afraid of like drilling in to try and pin them properly. So I think just gluing them to the base is gonna be enough. Okay, so of my JSA that I have left, what have I got left to actually paint? Because once I've painted them all, then I'm gonna be happy as a clam, because then JSA is basically finished. Oh my god. So yeah, I've got what's it? I've got the for God's sakes, my brain's not working. So I've got Yojimbo on his bike, which is this one here, to paint up. I've got Yojimbo off his bike, which is a similar pose, but no bike. I've got the peripherals that go with these two models that I've been painting right now. I've also got what are those three guys with the big hats? I've got those three guys with the big hats. One of them with a missile launcher, or a rocket launcher, heavy rocket launcher maybe. Oh no, it's missile launcher. It is a missile launcher. And then I've also got from Defiance the Shinobu Kitsune Shinobu. Is that her name? I think that's her name. She's the Oniwaban ninja. And then once all they're painted, that's all of my JSA finished, and that'll be a decent selection of a force. So that's going to be kind of cool. So I'll hopefully get them done. They're kind of like my current job at the moment. I do have also some whatchamacallits, remotes, like the large remotes, but they're mainly for my Yu Ching. So I'm going to be painting them up in Yu Ching colors eventually. My Yu Ching is like a bright green. Okay. So yeah, let's just make sure she's got good coverage over there. Over there. Alright. Now I'm going to leave the pants for tonight because I haven't put I haven't got the blue on my palette for that. I'm going to try and use what's on my palette to try and get as much of this done as I can. Now, one of the things I usually do is do the face first, but we're gonna actually leave that. We're gonna ignore that rule, and we're gonna just go ahead and we're gonna give this a go by painting the armor first. And we're going to be doing specifically, we're going to try and do the gold NMM. So that's going to be our first job, and she's got a lot of hair under that cap. So actually finding all of the different spots that I'm going to be painting gold is going to be a little bit difficult to find. So I think what we can do is probably start off with the feet here. Her boots are a little bit different from the engineers. There we go. I'll try and, let's see, I think I did on the engineer, they did have these riveted parts here, and I did these in gold. Like that. There we go. Yeah. Right, there's also going to be a little bit on the chest that I'm going to be also having in gold as well, but it's kind of where... I'll do that bit there. Then the shoulder pads and any kind of computer on the arm. A little bit on the hand there. Yeah, she's quite different from the engineer in terms of what she's wearing and where everything is. So it's again a case of kind of going over and just deciding, okay, this bit's gonna be this color, this bit's gonna be this color. So I'll probably go a bit similar to the engineer and have this top bit here in the kind of the gold style. There we go. We'll just mark out all of these areas that are going to be gold. Kind of like, I guess it's kind of like a burnished gold or a bronzy kind of color. It's not too in your face gold, which is would be maybe a bit too much. Got to also decide what kind of color hair does she have. A lot of my Japanese secessionist army have kind of a little bit of the old anime hair going on. Okay. There we go. Now, the shoulder. Do we do the shoulder in gold or not? We can do some of the gun. I guess these are kind of old sculpts, because these guns are the Yu Ching guns, I think. Oh no, they're the same. I wasn't sure if they updated to the Pano guns. I remember reading something about the JSA kind of got a bunch of their armaments from Pano. Pano was funding them, supplying them weapons during their uprising. Okay, I'm still umming and ahhing about this shoulder. You know what is that bit? We can do gold and maybe that bit there. Just kind of bring them up a little bit. Yeah. And then I think we're ready to now start adding in each of the layers for the gold that we're going to be putting in. So let's go ahead and do that. Keep shaking my... What is it that's shaking my camera so much at the top there? Is there something I'm doing? I don't know. Okay. Right, so the first thing we do is we mix up a little bit of heavy gold brown with our leather brown to kind of get the first initial layer for all of the brown, for all of the gold. With a touch of water in there as well, I think, just to kind of get the flow going on that. So I'm just placing a fairly heavy highlight on each of these areas as the initial kind of increase in hue, I guess. No, not hue. Increasing contrast, I guess, or brightness of the color as we work towards going up to the very top color of ivory. Okay, now I've got to remember to do the feet. something I often forget. Okay. So yeah. Oh, I haven't done the top of the hat, I don't think. So let's do that. Okay, let's go up to the heavy gold brown. Start being a little bit more delicate about our placement of the paint. So we want to keep some of that previous kind of mid-tone that we placed down. I mean that whenever I'm doing like the NMM, I go into a bit of a concentration mode where I just stop speaking. It's quite a difficult skill, the whole talk while you're doing something that you have to put concentration into. You notice I'm kind of going back over and retouching up the highlights again. It's because the paint is quite translucent. It means that I can increase the blend between the previous layer and this one, hopefully making for a smoother transition and preparing for the next highlight as well. Okay. Feet. Always forget the feet. That's what I'm going to do next. Ooh, I'm a bit heavy-handed on that leg there. I'm missing some of the brown that previously like broke it up. Gotta be careful with that. Okay, so now we mix in a little bit of the ivory with the heavy gold brown. This is hopefully where we start to really see it starting to look like NMM. There we go. Okay. It's starting to look like something. Which is always good. Having it look like something is kind of what we want. There we go. Right, I've got to do the hat though. I've been leaving the hat till last. Blend isn't great on the back of the head there, but it's something. Is it this I'm knocking? What is causing you to be so wibbly wobbly? I have to like stick you in place or something like that. Okay, so now we add the ivory. I'm hoping my stream is still working. According to my restream, it looks like it's paused, but it says I'm excellent, so I'm gonna assume everything is fine. But yeah. All right, now this bit is where we kind of have the least, try and keep the least impact, because we're just highlighting very delicately now. So I hold my breath. I think I'll get this NMM done, and then I might call it a night. I think we've done pretty well today in terms of producing some decent work. And getting some progress, that's the important one. Making progress. Okay, I think we've saved that foot. That one's all right as well. Okay, that's all done. Now we just need to do the top of the head there. I'll try to stipple this one. Okay, now that's given us some of the NMM in there. Pretty pleased with how that's turning out, and I think that's a pretty good spot to kind of finish on for now. Next time we can maybe work on the pants and get the armor right. And then hopefully everything else will fall in place. We've got to do the face as well. We've got to choose the colour for the hair. So it's something to have a think about. What kind of hair are we going to go for? I might just go with the kind of the natural dark brown. But we could go a little bit anime, maybe. We've got a turquoise in the army, kind of blue-haired Japanese character. I think I've also got a bit of a pinky red. So we could go with a green, maybe. I think that'd be all right. But yeah, I think that's a good spot to finish at. That's the dude we got actually finished today. Just got to do his base, and then he's done as well. And that's it. All right. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. It's been a pleasure to have a few of you just having a good chat. On the side there, keeping me entertained and keeping me talking for a little bit. But yeah, that's it. We'll get on with a bit more later. Thank you very much, Linda. Always a pleasure that you're lurking in the background to all my videos. Thank you so much for that. And yeah, well, take care, everybody. Have a lovely day. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.